Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing the newest drop from Razer, the DeathAdder V4 Pro. I know this is a very big favorite among fans because it's ergonomic shape. Kind of a big boy, to be honest, and I have some other mice that I'm going to kind of compare it to. The Viper, the Superlight 2 Dex, and then just the new one that's here, kind of a custom shape, which is the Orbital. But what we're going to do, let's talk about what's in the box. There's not a whole lot in the box, to be honest. There was this little page here essentially that talks about what the new dongle is. So we do have 8K polling rate with this. It's 150 hour battery life with the 1000, and I believe it's anywhere from 22 to 24 hour battery life with 8K polling. The battery life percentage, I know the lights, they don't really show up the way they should here. On the far right, it's technically red. It looks yellow on the screen, which is kind of interesting. But nonetheless, this is to indicate that it's at 8K polling. And the battery life, it will change color to kind of let you know, and the connection status. Very straightforward, to be honest. Inside as well, you got like, grip tape. That's pretty straightforward. You got a little booklet as well that probably most people aren't going to read, but nonetheless, hey, there it is. And then of course you got some stickers for Razer, and then you got a cord, which if you buy mice quite a bit, I mean, yeah, there you go. Now this mouse is around $170, I believe. $169.99. I'll put it on screen if I happen to get that incorrect. Well, I've been using this quite a bit as of late. Can I be honest with you guys that I'm not, in the past, even whenever I got sent this mouse, because this was sent by Razer, so I appreciate you guys sending this over, I've never been a Razer fan at all. I even tried recently, this wasn't bad, their Viper, and I thought, it's okay, it's an okay shape. It felt okay. But this mouse right here really does hit different, and I really enjoy it quite a bit, surprisingly. Maybe it's a shape, maybe I got used to it, because I'm going to put next to each other here the Dex, as well as, if I can hold them properly, and the V4 Pro. All right, there you go. This is the closest mouse that I think I can think of that kind of has that shape. You can kind of see the two of them together. I had to jump cut because I suck at holding both of them. Now, the Dex is a little smaller. The DeathAdder has more of a hump on the right, so if they're kind of flat onto each other, they both have this like dip in a little bit. I think the Dex is a little bit more pronounced and maybe is a little more form-fitting to your hand. This one has more of a bulge, if you will, on the height. Let's see if we can put them next to each other just so you can kind of see that. Now, this is 60 grams, and this one is 56. Now, that's the interesting part. Now, it's kind of hard to tell the weight difference. Now, this is made with a newer sensor, the 45K. This is the only mouse that has the updated, they claim is the most accurate sensor on the whole market. They have optical switches for the clicks. I'll overlay the clicks so you can hear them in just a second. And also optical in terms of the scroll wheel. So that's pretty interesting. It has a really smooth glide. You'll notice I'm kind of been back on a cloth pad as of late as well. Now, when comparing this, I don't know. I'm really surprised in how this performs. I mean, it really is for I guess you could say, a quote-unquote larger hand. I don't have the largest hand by any means, but it definitely just kind of fills out. The Dex feels a little bit more form-fitting. That's why I thought about grabbing, let's say, the Viper so you can see the two. So let's go and jump cut so I can actually hold these two properly. You see where the DeathAdder is a lot thicker. Now, in terms of size, just so you know, the height is 4.32 centimeters. The width is 6.86 centimeters width, and the depth is 12.74. The Viper Pro kind of indents more here. The DeathAdder, yeah, they didn't change the shape. They went for what really works. They know that people love the DeathAdder shape and just said, you know what? Let's throw all the tech and just make it an up-to-date mouse. And you can tell I've been using it. It does have that coating, which is probably why they put in the grip tape in there. You see, I can't, as much as I've been cleaning it, I can't get like smudge. I would have to use some sort of cleaning product just to get that off. And yeah, they have PTFE mouse feet. Usually I replace them, as you can tell, but I didn't mind it as much. Thought it was okay because as you can tell, I usually change them on my mouse. This is an Orbital, by the way, and the only reason I was going to show it here is just because this is such a thin mouse. Let's go and jump cut again here. The scene here, you can kind of see just that overall thickness that this mouse has. Now, I know that they also boast about their software. I'm not a big fan of software for any mouse, no matter what it is, but they do have, other things such as mouse acceleration that's kind of built into synapses and everything like that. If you want to turn that on, you can turn on, you know, motion sync and all that kind of fun stuff. Overall, the stats, I mean, they look impressive. I mean, nobody's ever going to use 45,000 DPI, but I mean, it is a very accurate mouse. It performs well. I would say at a higher sensitivity that I've been using recently, I actually really enjoy this mouse. I think this is actually a good fit for, it's not form-fitting, it just has that bulge, essentially, where it's great for a palm. If your fingertip, maybe it might feel a little weird, but I'm a fingertip grip user myself, and I hold my mouse in a very strange way, and I do find that it fits pretty nicely in my hand. You know, ergo shape, if you're left-handed, it's not the mouse for you, but if you know the DeathAdder in general, then you know the kind of shape that you're getting into. So I will put the ELO shape just on screen so you kind of see more or less what I'm talking about. I know this is black. The black one actually has a lighter weight to it compared to the white, which is 57 grams. This is 56. So again, battery life 22 hours, 150 hours. If you're a fan of this, I guarantee you're going to upgrade right away. This is their latest and greatest that they claim is, hey, here it is. This is the best mouse on the market. They claim compared to competitors that is much better, you know, based on their stats. You know, I always take that with a grain of salt, but I would say this is hands down probably the best Razer mouse I have ever used. Right, literally, the scroll wheel feels nice. Let's go ahead and do the clicks real quick right now. Okay, so now you kind of feel for the clicks. I mean, the clicks feel fantastic. It glides really well. Just the PTFE in general on its own feels really nice. You see, it's got that kind of arc. That's why I brought out the deck so you can kind of understand. This one's a little more pronounced, but they kind of have this like similar feel, and maybe that's why it's so iconic for what it is. So if you enjoyed this review, first impressions, there's going to be a video that I'm posting this coming Tuesday. I got 5,300 damage using this mouse on a new Sens, and I was like, wow, this is really nice. I might actually stick with using this for a hot minute. It is bulky. It is a bulkier mouse, which is why I think if you use a high sense, that kind of feels nice. But if you want probably more refined control, you probably want to have a mouse where, you know, you're able to move your hands a bit more. Bigger hands, probably going to feel great. Bigger than most of the mice that I have, especially like when I look at like other mice like this that are much smaller. You know, this is definitely better for palming in general. So if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys all for supporting. Hopefully this gives you good insight whether or not you want the DeathAdder from somebody who's never ever really used products. Really nice. Pretty impressive if you love this shape and everything. I was hesitant, and I would say this is the best Razer mouse I've ever held and used. I think I used this for like 2 weeks and I was like, nah, I'm done with that one. But this is actually, maybe because like I said, I use the Dex roll. This is why it kind of feels a little bit more at home. And the sensor, really strong. Thank you guys. See you guys all real soon. Bye everybody.